At the start of the 19th century, several transformative events shaped the United States. In 1803, the U.S. made the Louisiana Purchase from France, doubling the nation's size and getting control of the Mississippi River and New Orleans, which were vital for trade and expansion. That same year, the landmark Supreme Court case Marbury v. Madison established judicial review, empowering the court to declare laws unconstitutional, thus strengthening the judiciary's role in American government. 4 years later, President Thomas Jefferson signed the Embargo Act of 1807, attempting to avoid involvement in the Napoleonic Wars by halting trade with foreign nations. While intended to protect the U.S. interests, it severely damaged the economy, especially in New England. In 1807, Robert Fulton's invention of the first commercially successful steamboat revolutionized transportation, facilitating faster travel and trade, particularly along rivers, and spurring economic growth. The early 1800s also saw the construction of the U.S. Capitol, symbolizing the nation's democracy and architectural aspirations, which was completed in 1811. Meanwhile, the Lewis and Clark expedition, commissioned by Jefferson from 1804 to 1806, mapped the vast new Louisiana territory, opening the door for western expansion and settlement. The early 1800s also brought significant cultural and social change. The Second Great Awakening, a Protestant revival movement, spread across the country, aspirating social reforms like abolitionism, temperance, and women's rights. In 1804, the Haitian Revolution led to the creation of the first Black Republic, influencing attitudes towards slavery in the U.S., tightening slave laws, particularly in the South. The Chesapeake Leopard Affair of 1807 further strained the U.S.-British relationships, becoming one of the key events leading up to the War of 1812. Finally, the first U.S. census in 1800 recorded a population of 5.3 million, a crucial step in understanding the nation's demographic makeup and guiding political representation. These events marked a pivotal period in the development of the U.S., reshaping its government, economy, and society. Some learning essentials that began from the textbook was summarizing the settlement and development of the Spanish borderlands. The Spanish focused on settling in the Southwest, establishing missions, presidios, and towns. Their presence influenced the borders of the U.S. territories, especially in regions like California, Texas, and Florida. Another point was contrast the economy, societies, and political view of the North and South. The North's economy was based on industry and trade, a strong emphasis on abolitionism and support for federal authority. In contrast in the South, its economy relied on agriculture, particularly on cotton and slavery, and was more supportive of states' rights and local autonomy. These differences would lead to growing tensions, ultimately contributing to the Civil War. And that is the 1800s.